Hello, hello. It's Wednesday, February 5th. Cup of sports in the morning. Hello, AJ. How are we doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Living the dream, living the dream.
Yeah, it's
Today was fine.
Wednesday morning.
Today was finally, or yesterday actually, technically, was finally a nicer day. Finally wasn't teen weather.
It was a
Finally
little
felt
false
good.
spring.
Yeah, a little bit. Little,
Little,
yeah,
little,
little
little
pretend.
tease.
Little pretend spring. I'll take it. Nice, just enough to get my sinuses fucked up for another week or so. That's always
Yeah, and then
good.
Thursday, I don't know about you guys, we're supposed to get like 6 to 8 inches of snow.
That can't be real.
So
I'll be real upset if we get snow
they
because like
shut
it
down.
was like nice
They shut
today.
down 81 from Maryland to Wilkes-Barre to commercial vehicles starting tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Wednesday night at 10 p.m. 80 I-81,
Damn.
I-80, like a whole bunch of highways across the state of Pennsylvania are all shut down because it's like freezing rain and then it's supposed to snow on top of it.
Love that. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
anticipating like real stuff. That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, it does dip in temperature for a little bit, so
yeah. Like
cool.
Thursday's
Love
supposed to
that.
be terrible for weather, so if you have any plans for traveling on Thursday, don't.
Reschedule.
If yeah,
Reschedule.
if you have that option.
Cool. Well, that stinks, but
So yeah,
yeah.
fall spring just to get your hopes up. Have enjoy
Yeah,
a
pretty
nice
much. I did.
day.
I was out today and I was like, oh, we're going golfing soon. We can start playing basketball again. Like, yeah, no, you still got like a good 6 to 8 weeks before we're outside, but
Yeah,
felt like it was gonna happen.
yeah. All right, so I just have a little intro question for you from courtesy of Ask Reddit, one of my
Love it.
favorite
One of the best
subreddits,
sources in the world.
and I'm interested. I would love to hear some of our listeners' take on this. But what is the silliest, pettiest, or smallest hill you are willing to die on?
So this one, my very immediate response is left lane driving. Like, there's just nothing that you're gonna like. I don't want to hear
Yep.
it. You're in the wrong. Get the fuck out of my way. I don't care if I'm doing 90. I don't care if you had your four ways on. I don't care if it's icy. Like, I don't care. Get out of the way. Let me drive and wrap my car around a tree the way I want to do. You just get over and let me do my thing. Left
Yeah.
lane driving, I could probably sit. And it's like one of those things where people are like, what could you sit and talk passionately about for an hour with no prep, blah, blah, blah. Left lane driving. Dude, I could fucking go in on some left lane driving. The other one that came to mind was politics because it's another one where like, unless you let me follow around the richest people in the country and in the world and the people that are actually in charge, like let me see what it's like to follow around a Rockefeller for a week. Like I want to know what he's doing and what kind of calls he's getting. I'm just never gonna believe or trust anything otherwise. So like there's that level of like distrust that I just will never
Yeah.
have. Like I am a see it to believe it person, and it's unfortunate in some places where it's like there's no magic happening in this brain, but that's one of them where like I need to sit in a room and really see things progress to be like, oh, this is how we do it. It really is just a big dick game of who what company has the most money, or oh my god, they really do genuine politics in here. Like they sit and have a little debate club. How cute. Like unlikely they're probably sacrificing children and blood and stuff. But yeah, I just can't anticipate that it's like a real life thing. So that's another one. And then my
Yeah.
last one was hating Duke. Like I just that's one where it's just I was just born and it's like not even being like a diehard Carolina fan, but like I just hate Duke. Like I
Yeah.
just it has just been like a thing for me for so long. Like we even talked about hating Ohio State. Like that's kind of there, and like I do kind of hate Ohio State, but like I just hate Duke. Like
Yeah.
Duke is just I can't root for them in fucking anything. Like there's just nothing where I'm like, well, maybe. Like no, I just want them to lose. Like there's even if like them winning helped UNC's playoff like resume, like I would just rather Duke lose. Like I don't want to have to go through Duke winning anything, even if it helps UNC. So
Yeah.
how about you?
Fair enough.
Silliest, pettiest.
Uh, I don't know what this would fall under. Probably pettiest because it's really not that big of a deal. But oh, I can't stand it. If your phone is making any sort of noise in public, like you're having a conversation on speakerphone or you're
Yeah.
listening to music, you are at the bottom of the barrel. I like
Yeah. Yes.
you are as low as human beings can be in my
Yeah.
mind.
Throw him to the
Um,
back of the jail, throw away the
there's
key.
there is no reason. There are headphones. They are super cheap with microphones built in. You can hold it up to your ear, do something else, literally anything else.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I weirdly enough, like when I'm at home by myself and I like have to call into a call center, that's the first thing I do is like I call and put it on speakerphone. I'm just like walking around the house talking into speaker.
when you're at home, I'm right there with you.
But
I
yeah, yeah,
enjoy
but
it.
like
Like I have
out in
a
public,
headset and
yeah,
stuff like
like it's
that.
just
Yeah.
for me, it's like a personal thing. Though, like I can't hear dick already, so like to have everyone else talking, and I'm like, "How? What'd you say, AJ?" And you're like, "Well, this rash won't go away," and I'm like, "Louder!" Like that just seems crazy crazy to be like, announce my business, please. Like you're on,
Yeah.
especially too when someone calls, like you call me and I'm like, hey, you're on speaker with the kids. Like one of those things where it's like, don't say anything bad. Like those kind of warnings. Like how do you do that in public? You're like, hey, I'm on speaker with everyone on the bus. Like don't say anything to all 32 strangers that are sitting
Yeah.
next to me. Like yeah, because you're right. It is like a personality thing. Because like somebody who just like has like a quick like speakerphone conversation at the park and you walk by, you're like whatever. But
Yeah.
like yeah, no, I should be there around 6, like on the bus, and everyone's like, God damn, dude. Like, and that person's like not even looking around, like they're just talking and thinking and stuff. Like, they have no idea that people are
Yeah.
next to them. Yeah, I think realistically, yours is like hating people with lack of self awareness. Like, that really is what
Yeah,
it boils down
probably.
to.
But yeah,
Yeah, because
it's
I'm
just
probably in there too.
there's few things that irritate me more than that. But I do give you props to left lane driving.
Yeah, that's a that I'd
That's
get that
definitely
tatted on
a
my
peeve
fucking
of mine.
forehead. Dude, I want to like, I just want a car that has one of those like metal point things at the front, so I can just give people a little bump and just fucking out of the way, and just well, shouldn't have been in the left lane
Yeah.
like that. And I always think too, like I'm a pretty what I would consider, I guess, empathetic person, or I put myself in that spot a lot to try to just be like, well, what's that like on their end? Like, should
Yes.
I be that mad? Like, what did they go through to get to that point? That's always one where I'm like, I don't care if I'm doing 130 in the left lane. If I see a car behind me, I immediately like, oh my god, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry,
Yes.
sorry, go. You go do your 200 miles an hour, and I'll come back over to do 130. Like, I don't care if I'm doing felony speeds. The moment I look at my rear view and it's not red and blue lights, I'm like, so sorry, I didn't mean to be in your way at all. I'm sorry you even
Yeah.
had to consider tapping the brakes because I was clouding the left lane. Like, how dare I? And that's it. So when people are like, well, what if I'm already doing the speed? As soon as they start arguing it, I'm like, I fucking hate you. Just
Yep.
get out of the left lane. Just get out of the left lane. Like, this is not an argument. Like, just get out of the left
Yes.
lane. There is, yeah. Will the speed, will the give it the cut? No, not that you're wrong on all counts. So
Yes.
every account you have, you're wrong.
Yep. Let me go by, then I don't care
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah. Let me zoom by. You don't have to ever worry about me again because I'm going to get to my destination 33 minutes before you will. So, like, yeah, just let me do my thing and leave me alone. Yeah, that's a solid one. I love me some Ask Reddit. That's another really good one.
Yeah. All right. We don't have a ton to talk about tonight, but there have been a few things that have happened. The first one is I don't know if you've listened to them. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because of Philadelphia being named by quite a lot of people, and like I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah,
Regardless of the outcome of the
that's
Super Bowl, Miles Garrett requests a trade, and people were like, "Look, if he wants to win a championship, he's gonna ask to go to Philadelphia."
yeah.
They have the draft
It's
picks, they have the salary cap space.
yeah. They
Like,
can move pieces and keep him. Like yeah,
yeah,
it's
it basically they're basically like, hey, Philadelphia has the picks and they have the space to re-sign him to a contract extension. So, like, why wouldn't he?
why would yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty much. I wonder if I think it is that like the Browns don't owe him anything, which is where
Right.
he won't get to go where he wants necessarily.
But if you're the
But
Browns, that's great, right? Like, if you're the Browns, he's out of conference.
yeah,
No
that's true
longer your
too. Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
The other one the other one which is also out of conference for them is the Chicago Bears. Um, that's a that's probably this. I'd argue the Chicago Bears is probably more popular amongst
Yeah,
kind of
analysts and such.
analysts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but like, dude, Miles Garrett in an Eagles jersey would have me hype as shit. I don't care
Yeah,
how
it's actually
dirty of a
nice to have
player he
Brandon
is.
Graham and Zach
But
Bond. Is that his name?
Zach Bond's the linebacker, but you have to look at that. Jalen Carter, Nolan
Jalen, that's
Smith,
yeah, that's I said Brandon Graham. I
like,
was thinking
yeah,
Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. Yeah, that. But that's but even my thing is like you get a decent skill. Like you can have four of the best fucking linemen of all time, but like if your
yeah,
corners are dog shit rookies, like whoever's back there could just get the ball out over top, and you're playing that game.
yeah,
I always like even when building Madden teams or fantasy, like I'm a give me one at every level. Give me one
yes,
good D lineman, one good linebacker, one good corner. And so like you guys
yes,
got fucking CJ and Darius Slay, and then you have
yeah,
Zach Bond, and then you have Jalen Carter and
yeah,
Miles Garrett in the middle. Like, yeah, you guys' defense would be layered the fuck up
yeah.
at all levels. And then you Blankenship and
Reed Blankenship. You have Quinyon Mitchell,
Deshaun,
Quintanamo
Quinyon
Bay,
Mitchin, and then
Cooper DeJean
Cooper DeJean. That's
playing
what I
the
was thinking of. White
nickel.
boy. Yeah,
Like,
that's yeah.
so
You guys have
look,
a pretty crazy
yeah,
defense.
I
I mean,
wouldn't
they'd
be.
have to give up some pieces to
I
get
wouldn't.
him, but
See, I don't think they do.
see, I feel like
If you
other
offer like a second, a fifth, and a seventh, how do you say no to that? unless somebody's
Because
offering you a first.
I feel like there's going to be a dog shit team that's willing to just offer a first, like some
Right,
G
but
some new coach that has the ability to do it. Like they're going to fire away. Like a
yeah,
Jackson, like
maybe.
the fucking goofy guy in Jacksonville. Like if he has the power to send it Duval, he's going to do it, and
Yeah,
then he ruin the rest of Myles Garrett's career. But I feel like the Browns have just been such a shit show organization that like they're going to botch this somehow. They're
for
gonna
sure.
ruin it for us as fans and not send him to the Eagles or the Vikings or the
Yeah,
Bear. Like they'll send him to the Titans or the
just
Jags or somewhere where he's just gonna go to die, and like that sucks. But yeah, I mean,
just the
hopefully he gets
fact that
somewhere
it has
legitimate.
Cowboys and Giants fans shaking in their boots because they're like, shit, that could be a reality. We
Shit.
might have to play him twice a
We
year.
have no quarterback and we gotta fight Miles
Yeah,
Garrett. Like that fucking
yeah,
sucks. Like the Cowboys at least have a little bit of a line. The Giants are in a bad situation. Like
yes,
the Giants are in a very bad spot.
yeah,
That is we need a five linemen and a new quarterback. Probably a running back, and as long as Malik Neighbors hasn't quit football by then, we have a receiver, so we're good. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I would hate to be the Mara family right now. I mean, you brought it upon yourself, but
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
And
But
then that,
speaking of trades,
as I'll say, leading into our next candidate, so another guy who doesn't really get a say, but they kind of said like,
this
"Hey,
one, yeah, I said this will
we'll
be
let
the
you give some input."
differentiator. Yeah, they want to get into a
Cooper Cup
contender.
hits the trading block from LA.
I did see weirdly enough, Orlovsky had the Broncos in there as a team to watch, and like a bunch of people
I wouldn't see why
disagreed.
not.
But I like we need other help. I feel like I feel like our receivers are there. We have all these young playmakers that caught and they did like we were like a mini Buffalo Bills team this year where everyone got a pass, everyone got a touchdown. Like we were spreading the ball around. Bo Nix set some record for like rookie completions to different players or
Yeah,
something like that. So we were like behind the Bills of like spreading the ball around, and those are always like the most efficient offenses and all that. So like I feel like we have no problem getting the ball around. I feel like we need to solidify defense and toughen up the line. Like the line, you get Bo more time, that's helpful. But like us, I feel like trading picks or something to get Cooper. I saw that and I was like, no, 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 no. Like I would love Cooper Cup. Like I'm not doubting that at all. I just like it leaves me the concern of
yeah,
like, what are we doing about the line and like solidifying defense? Like we lost a bunch of coordinators and then we're out here getting Cooper Cup. Like what are we doing? But I mean, yeah, again, I'm not gonna be mad at it having a star player like that on the team. Like I
right.
definitely fucking why
You
not?
guys
Because
needed
him
to
and
compete
Cortland
in that
Sutton.
division.
Yeah, too. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, too. We absolutely like that's the thing is like do you need a bunch of superstars or like a well balanced full team? And that for me is like you got to get like a good line to deal with those teams. Like having Cooper, he's not going to do it himself. So like you
Yeah,
need a line and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see. It just sucks though because that means that like Stafford's done. Like that's like one of those last quarterbacks from our era of
yeah,
football. Like Rodgers and Stafford, like they're the last two. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, so
Kirk's
it's tough
still
to
in there
see,
a little
but
bit, but
yeah, well, yeah, he
he's
was
like
kind
one
of
of
the
the last
blend.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah, kind of the blending one, but you like that. But
yeah.
yeah,
And
so it's
then
weird to see.
one of the last things I have for the NFL, Trump did announce today that he will be attending the Super Bowl, which makes him the first ever sitting president to attend a Super Bowl, which is just kind of
Really?
wild to me. I would have never guessed
Yeah.
that. But also on the other hand, I can imagine the headache that the NFL would have trying
Even
to
yeah.
secure that with
Yeah.
the Secret Service.
Right. Yeah.
And like it's got to be a mess because now the Secret Service is going to come in and they're going to be like, hey, you
Yeah.
need higher restrictions and all this stuff, and
Yeah, and
we
even
need
getting the it's that's how you and I operate is like working a job like that where you've seen security come in the back door. Where you're like, well, that's
yeah,
how it works for those guys, but like, but how does Secret Service get in? So like, are they
right,
going through the regular metal detectors, or now they set up their own Secret Service of a metal detector entrance? Like,
yeah,
yeah, it gets so hairy with like, how do they even get into the premise? And then like, is he coming in during the game start when it's busy as fuck? Or are they having him come in an hour or two early? But like he doesn't have time to afford an hour or two early
right,
typically. So it's like they're gonna rush him in
yeah,
when the game starts. And yeah, the
yeah,
logistics of that, yeah, it gets it's not as fun as just like oh president at the Super Bowl, but
yeah,
it is kind of crazy that it's the first standing president that or sitting president.
yeah,
That's pretty crazy that it's the
yeah.
first one ever at a Super
I
Bowl.
was surprised when I read that. I was like, oh damn, I
Yeah,
didn't
that
realize
feels
that.
so weird. That's cool though. I mean, yeah, we obviously are not a
Yeah.
political show, but regardless of who it was, that's cool that a presidential person is going to be there at a game.
And
Okay,
then I did
Dalton Connect.
I did forget to put this down, but it's probably something we should talk about. Basically, Roger Goodell and now today the Referees Association came out and basically both called it preposterous that about the theories about them officiating uh, the Chiefs differently. Um, so, look, when when
we don't care what you have to say.
okay, yes, I agree with that, but also when you're that good, Like this shit's got to come up. There's literally nothing else to point at, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you gotta you gotta say something.
It's kind of it's that Missoula thing I saw you today, where it's like, oh well, the Chiefs have to deal with this unfair criticism. No, they get to like they've done
Yes.
so well and they've won two
Right.
Super Bowls back to back. They have the ability. They've earned the right to deal with
Yes.
people talking shit about them. Like they have
Yes.
earned that right. Good for them. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's yeah. It's
And then I did just catch this headline while I was looking through. The NFL is stenciling "Choose Love" in the end zone for the Super Bowl this year. I don't know if you've even paid attention or know what I'm talking about, but
mm-mm.
the back of the end zones underneath the goalposts, each team can
Oh yeah,
designate like a
yeah.
phrase. It's the same phrases that go on the back of their helmets.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So wait, each team
So
gets to designate their own phrase, or
for their home stadium, each team can decide what they want in their end zones. But
God,
for
I
the
remember it
Super
was
Bowl, the
end
NFL,
racism was like the first one that
yes,
everyone did, and then so
yeah.
now it's each team
There's
gets
like
to pick
stop
their own.
hate. This one's choose love. There's like a list of things that the players can choose from to put on. So the NFL went with choose love this year in the end zone. So pretty cool to see. Oh God, I just hope the field's better. Hopefully they fired that dude from 2 years ago.
From what field?
The field in the Super Bowl when the Eagles played the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They
I
talked
was like, wait, what are you
about
talking
it
about?
was in Arizona and they talked about how much money they spent on the field and it was absolutely horrendous. Like both teams complained about it after the
Right, yeah,
game.
yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a point because yeah, it was where it wasn't even one sided. It was like both teams were fucking up out
Yeah.
there. Like it was not a great day.
Yeah. Um
And yeah, that's I think that's all I had for football stuff. I was taking a look, even just kind of dicking around earlier when we were eating dinner, and like there's
yeah.
just nothing else that's super crazy. I know Coach Reed said he's going to coach another season or two at least, but that's not anything fun. Also, that Pat Riley thing with the three-peat, did you see that? Pat
Yeah,
Riley
the he
owns the three-peat patent
yeah,
term
the
from like the
trademark,
80s.
yeah.
Yes, like anybody that says three-peat is just fucking, if you even say it on a podcast, now we got to write a check for 5 cents and send it to Pat Riley. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Like that shit like that is just like people are so next level with business and shit. Like he
Mhm.
heard that term once in the 70s and said, patent that shit, and now 40 fucking years later, he's about to get a goddamn payday for it. Like
Yeah.
and they said he owned the patent for hats and shirts, and it was like I remember too, like I read through it and it was really funny because it's like you could tell it was filed in the 80s because it was like patent for logos on a briefcase and rolling suitcase and computer padded bag or something like that. And it was
Yeah.
like, dog, my computer padded bag is an iPhone and it's called a phone case now. Like, I don't need a fucking laptop bag to carry around day to
Yeah.
day. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, so he had that so long ago that it was, it's cashing out now, fucking 45 years later. So yeah, good for him. But yeah, I mean that's like
Yeah.
I said, that's all I had for football stuff. That's Cooper Cup
I
and Miles
agree.
Garrett are going to be the two real big pieces that start to fall here, and any
Yeah, we'll
others.
see. I mean, so after the Super Bowl, we'll have free agency. So that'll be interesting because like we'll officially start seeing like who's not re-signing, all that stuff, and then where they're going. Uh, so it'll be kind of a fun, silly season. But seeing those two hitting the trading block is exciting. Just something to look forward to because they
Literally, the football
probably
doesn't do this as much, so it's exciting
realistically
when
they're
it
probably
does.
not going to be traded until draft night.
Yeah, so yeah, and
Um,
anytime, yeah, unless somebody really wants one of them, like you get those like
even
old
if they do, the
college
teams are still probably gonna wait until
kind of
draft
wait to
night.
see, yeah,
Yeah,
see how things fall. Because yeah, what's
yeah,
the point of rushing one whenever you can get
exactly. Because
something?
also the league closes like the week after the Super Bowl, and you're not allowed to make transactions for a while.
Yeah, I was just looking at that the other day,
So
whenever because the league end is like July something. That's like the
yeah,
official end, because then it starts over in August or whatever,
yeah.
like their fiscal year or whatever.
I
But
just did I have a date? No, I didn't have a date. So yeah, that's really all for football. We touched on NASCAR, so I don't have anything there, and honestly, none of the other sports did anything super
yeah,
exciting, in
let's see.
my
I have a
opinion.
little bit of basketball stuff.
Yeah, go
Like
for it.
the rest of the details from the Luca trade came out, so everything fell out of like who was getting what picks and all that good stuff. Luca should make debut Saturday, I believe. AD is as well. So just a couple days, we'll be able to see AD in a Mavs uniform. It's gonna be pretty sick. I mean, Luca
Yeah,
in a Lakers uniform is gonna be fun. And then the Fox trade details came out on that too, and like all the teams that got it was a 3-team trade with tons of picks swapped out. 6 picks ended up with the Kings, so they traded De'Aaron Fox and ended up with Zach LaVine and 6 picks, which is
Oh
insane.
damn.
Um, I didn't know this until I clicked on it, and I'm glad I clicked on it. A trade just happened today was Caleb Martin from the 76ers to the Dallas Mavericks for Quentin Grimes and a second round pick. So the Sixers, because they suck, traded Caleb Martin,
Yeah.
which makes me so happy because I said this earlier in the year when this trade happened. I was like, he's such a random like role player off the bench, but he's got this nickname of the Celtic Killer because for some reason when
Uh,
we played him on the Heat, he was the guy that just fucking like Jimmy would we'd shut down Jimmy and Caleb Martin would just start fucking cooking us. And it was one where like Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum both would be like, all right, I'll get him. And he would score 2 more buckets. And it was like, dude, someone actually get him. I saw that just now that he got traded to the Mavs. And that makes me sort of happy because he's not on the Sixers. We don't have to play him in the playoffs as early. But if the Mavs are for real and now we play them in the finals again or some shit, like now they have Caleb Martin again. So like being to
I,
the Mavs doesn't help that much, but
I
off the Sixers is definitely helpful.
I do have a basketball question for you. So I saw a
Love it.
post today. I don't know who the third guy was. So it was
Uh,
basically like the ultimate fumble, and they showed Luca, and I think his name's Jalen Brunson. He plays for the Knicks now in Mavs
yeah.
jerseys, and there's a third guy that now plays for the Celtics. It was like a tall white dude.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is.
And they were like,
He
name a bigger fumble in professional sports by a
has to be
DM.
Kristaps. So Kristaps got drafted by the Knicks. There's a
Yes.
famous video. You type it in. You need to watch it when we're done recording. You type in Tingus Pingus to Google. There's this guy, deep New York accent. What the fuck are we doing? Oh no! What the fuck is a Tingus Pingus? What are we doing out here? And they said we are from Slovenia. Where the fuck is he from? Lou Luxembourg? Not Luxembourg, but the other one.
Liechtenstein?
Latvia.
Latvia.
Latvia? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Latvian.
What did I just say? Because that's not what I thought. Luxembourg,
Luxembourg is
Latvia.
that small city.
Yeah, but is
You
there
were thinking of
another one?
Lithuania.
Lithuania. That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of. Yeah, so he's from Latvia.
gotcha.
He drafted by the Knicks. Knicks hated him. They were like, "This is the worst shit ever." He is like this tall, soft European
I
guy.
remember him from the Knicks because he played
Got
with
Mello
no, the
and
Asian.
Jeremy Lin. Yep,
Yeah, Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy
That's it.
Lin. Yep. So he played with Mello and Jeremy Lin, and then he got traded to the Mavs because he got hurt a bunch, was out, they couldn't stay healthy. He got traded to the
Gotcha.
Mavs, didn't do anything. Got traded, I think, to the Wizards, and then wasn't doing anything. And then somehow the Celtics got involved. I was kind of pissed at first because it was Anthony Davis. Somebody else was free at that point too, and we fucking were like, we got Kristaps, and I was like, dog, what the fuck? Like we had the money to get AD with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, and we got Kristaps, and it worked out perfectly last year. He ended up getting hurt, was out for most of the end of the season, came back late playoffs, and led us right into the finals and cooked. And yeah, he is. They called him the unicorn coming out of there, so
Yes.
he is. He's fucking 7 foot, 1,000 feet tall, can dribble, can shoot, can rebound. Like he is like a Kevin Durant, not as quick, not clean scoring, but like he can rebound. His reach is probably 7'6" wingspan, 7 foot 2 inches tall, which is
That's
insane,
nuts.
crazy. But yeah, so that would make sense. Yeah, but yeah, the Jalen Brunson, he played for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Mavs didn't think he was shit. Traded to the Knicks. He's now their star point guard. Signed a fucking super mega contract extension.
Yeah.
And then who's the other one you said?
It was
Who's the first one?
Kristaps and Luca.
Luca, yeah,
Yeah.
Luca, yeah, that's just crazy. Like
Yeah.
that. Luca's going to be an interesting one. I really want to know who that mystery team is too, because I think it was the Celtics. I think they were asking for JB. Like that just was my initial gut reaction when I saw that report that said the Mavs had reached out to a mystery team that just blatantly was like, no, we're not swapping superstars. And I think it was JB for Luca, and I'm so happy they said no because that would have fucked us all up.
Fair.
But yeah. Yeah, that graphic sticks though. That was definitely a legitimate graphic that you saw because yeah, that was an all-time bag fumble. That was. I honestly, when you said fumble, I thought we were gonna talk about salary and Dennis Schroeder. I think we had talked about this before. He's like the all-time bag fumble. He played for the Lakers. I think won the title with him in like 2020 or maybe the year before that. Well, they won in bubble, which was 2020, so COVID
Yeah.
years. Maybe the year before that, they made the playoffs or something. They offered him like a max deal. It was like 170 some million dollars for like 4 years, like $40 million a year to play basketball. Said no. ended up not getting signed by a team, went to play in Europe or something like that, came back, played for the Celtics on like a 1 year, $3 million deal.
Damn.
Like it was like an all time, and now signed like a 5 year, $25 million
Yeah.
deal. So like it was like an all time bag fumble. Like he just was like, no, I'm 4 years for 150. I want 200, and ended up getting two. Like it was like, yeah, like that's an unfortunate day at the
Should
office.
be that way.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, other than that, yeah, there wasn't anything too crazy in basketball. So we are obviously recording this Tuesday night before Wednesday morning, watching the Lakers beat up on the Rockets or on the Clippers right now. The jersey's fucked me up for a second, but yeah, I'm excited to see Luca and LeBron play. I think it'll be
Yeah.
fun at the very least because Luca's technically a point guard, so we'll see how that ends up. But um, anything else? Oh yeah, and then yeah, right now we're watching TGL live. I have that
TGL,
up on
yeah.
my computer right now, and that's it's actually like pretty cool. I'm happy that they're doing it. I went through, looked at the schedule. They have more and more events. Like there's like some
Yeah.
triple headers on a Saturday. President's Day, they have a triple header going on. Like yeah, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be on more often. I feel like it's just one of those things where I know my one single view doesn't matter, but the more we put it on, the more we play it, the
Yeah.
better the ratings get, the more they'll do it.
It's
So
honestly really entertaining. Like this is so much more
it
fun to
is.
watch than like I can't do 72 holes on a
It's
Thursday,
tough.
Friday,
It's
Saturday,
tough.
Sunday.
It's tough.
I
I'll
can't
like
do that.
I'll put it on Thursday, Friday as like the background noise where I'm just kind of watching and getting in the mood for it.
Can't do
But then
any of
it's
that.
like Saturday is like, all right, like I'm gonna lock in here and watch some shit because it's like you're kind of seeing the field form, like you're seeing who's where and
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, from the start, it's like for honestly, it's kind of the same for like NASCAR races. Like out of the start, like the first like 10 laps, I'm like everyone's just fucking like the thing on the left is just clicking up and down so fast, and you're just like I don't fucking
Yeah.
call me back in 5 minutes when it settles out a little bit. That's kind of what it feels like in golf. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, the first few holes and first few players and shit, I could not even pretend to care. But
This
then,
is this is
but yeah,
for me
TGL is
is
way
like
better.
for somebody who doesn't really love golf, especially watching it. This is
Right.
the first thing I've ever seen that I'm like I want to go to this. Like I
Yeah,
want to go to
yes,
Florida
yeah, go
and
and sit. Yeah.
experience this event and just watch it. Would be
See,
so fun.
I've always been so torn like that. If I'm playing live spectating or spectating on TV. Like watching on TV, golf is pretty rough. Watching baseball on TV, like I can't unless it's the World Series. Like I
Yeah.
cannot bring myself to just be like, oh, Rockies, Phillies in fucking June, cool. Like cannot even bring myself to watch a full game. However, if you're like, hey man, I got tickets for the Phillies, I'm fucking locked in.
Yes.
Like a couple beers, hot dogs and shit. Like
Oh,
watching
any
sports,
baseball game.
any
Yeah.
any sport. Like for
yeah.
whatever reason, like you want to take a tennis match, like you and me and the kids, like fuck yeah, dude, let's go. Like
Yeah.
I'm locked into any sport if I can watch it or if I can play it.
Yeah.
You want me to play volleyball? You want me to play tennis? You want me to play pickleball? Like I'll play anything. You and I have always both kind of been that way. Like anything
absolutely.
athletic, like yeah, sign me up. I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah.
But to watch something like on that on TV, like you want me to watch like a pickleball tournament on TV or something, like dude, I'm fucking falling asleep. There's no shot. I'm staying awake till the end of this. No, like that's a nap time to me. As soon as you say let's watch a baseball game, I'm like 3 hour nap. Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just
As somebody who does watch pickleball on TV, I don't like go out of my way, but like if I see it on in the mornings, I'll watch it. I also love playing pickleball.
yes, I was saying that's the difference. So
It's
for me, like I love golf, so it's like
Yeah.
I like can watch it, but like yeah, if you don't have that love and passion for it, like watching a sport you don't like on TV
I
is like oh my
I
fucking
will give you
god.
credit. It is very boring to watch on TV. It's one of those sports that it's similar to like Little League baseball. I will watch Little League over
Even though
any
it's
other
bad,
level
even though it's bad
because
quality product, but it
right.
means something. It's fun.
Well,
It's
it not only does it mean something, but like there's mistakes that are happening, and so
right.
like it's like that's what makes it fun. Like
It's
that like it's not just
it's kind of
it's not gonna be
silly.
a pitcher blowing
Right.
60, 90 mile per hour
You're gonna get a
fastball
12-year-old crying because their dad yelled at him and shit. Like
Right.
yeah, you get like
So like
realistic,
there's that,
genuine
but like when
stuff.
you're watching it on TV, you don't get that. It's just them
No.
standing at the kitchen, just ding, 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 and then one of them misses or like makes just a slight mistake, and they're like, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
out," and it's like this is so boring to watch.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think like you said it well there that like you love pickleball, so it makes sense for you to watch it. Like I think like for me like watching golf, like if I just told somebody random and was like watch golf, they'd be like, what the fuck am I looking at? But like for us, it's like trying to get better. Like I'm trying to
yeah.
figure out what they're doing. I'm listening to them talk about it, and like you hear
Oh,
something, you
I've
go
just
look it up,
accepted
and
I'm gonna suck, so it's fine.
no, see, I did this. So I played like a year or two with you guys fucking around and just like was smacking balls, not putting any thought into it. Accidentally clicked on like a TikTok one day with that. It was a joke of that one where that guy's like and you bring in your centrifugal downforce, and you swing in, and you come up to the maximum point, and then the velocity of the back and the backswing and the downswing of the arrow. He's like, and then the wind will come in and pick you up left. Like that guy, he does like that 30-second rant, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Is this real?" And they're like, "That was a skit. It's not real." But then Phil Mickelson did that interview where he was like, it all depends on like when you're hitting the ball. Is it morning or is it night? He's like, if it's in the morning, the dew is a little bit heavier. So when you hit the ball, you're gonna give it a little more backswing because it's gonna hit the grass and da da da. And if it's wet, it does this. And it depends what kind of grass it is because some grass sticks together, and some grass spreads when it's wet. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna suck forever. I was like, I'm never gonna be good. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be. That's the knowledge island thing for me for golf. The more I learned, I was like, dude, there's so much. So now that I learned shit where they're like, twist your wrist this way. When you're hitting a chip, don't pull up and swing. Push back and push forward like a rake. And when I do that, I hit it so much better every time now. So there are things for me that have helped. That's what if like I do that where I'm like, I go to fucking crack an iron and I'm like, just straight back and straight forward. And every time I'm like, no shit, look at that. Fucking thanks, random TikTok guy. Like, thank you for that one. Like, Jesus Christ, that helps so much.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for me, it's like I can learn something. But yeah, for me, like, I don't need to be any better at baseball. So for me to sit and watch a baseball game on TV, like, I am falling asleep. No question. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's about all I got.
You got a athlete of the day?
I do have an athlete of the day for you. I saw his name pop up the other day.
Let's
I don't know
hear
if you
it.
remember this one. Corey Maggette.
I don't recognize that name at all.
Don't recognize that name?
I couldn't even tell you what sport.
Basketball. He would have been like a 2K player that we played like back in the day, but he played for the Clippers from 2000 to 2008. And that's what I wanted athlete of the day to be. I didn't want to throw him the Kobe Bryant. Like
Right,
everyone
yeah.
knows, everyone knows Kobe is kind of forgotten athlete of the day in a way. But yeah, like if you remember Ben Gordon, not
Name sounds familiar, but
let's
I feel
see,
like
Eric Gordon
Eric
is the other one.
maybe
Was
that's
that was
it.
in there? Yeah, Eric Gordon is the kid in Space Jam. He ended up playing in the NBA,
Interesting.
but yeah. So Corey Maggette, he also plays in the Big Three now too. But I looked because I just kind of like to see like where their peak year was. In 2007, he played for the Clippers, started 65 of 70 games,
I couldn't
and
pick this dude out of a lineup.
Corey Maggette.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a name where I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I recognize him. I realistically remembered him more from his 2 or 3 years on the Warriors than I did with the Clippers because that was when Chris Mullin was training. This is another guy you might remember, Monte Ellis.
Yeah, I remember him.
He played for the Warriors and he ended up getting
Did he go to
traded. And it was,
UNC?
I don't
There was
think
an
so. I think he went
Ellis that
to.
went to UNC.
Oh wait, before I type this in, Monte Ellis. I think he went to like Marquette or it's like a blue and yellow.
Oh, oh, we lost Dane. For the record, Monte Ellis did. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. I don't know how I lost you there, but I did.
Did you look it up? I was gonna say
What?
Monte Ellis, for the record, did not go to UNC.
He did not. Did he go to college at all, or was he straight out of Mississippi University? Oh, originally committed to Mississippi State, but then decided to enter the draft. So he just went straight to the draft. So he didn't play. He played for the Pacers, which is what I think I was thinking of. That was the jersey I could see in my head because I said the blue, and I was like, I can't remember where it was, but
anyways, back to Corey Maggette.
yeah, he plays in the Big Three now, or did. But yeah, so that was one where I saw.
Retire, my guy.
Yeah, literally.
It's over.
What is? And now you got me curious though of UNC. What the hell is happening to my computer? My computer is tripping out right now.
Caleb Ellis is who I'm thinking of.
UNC at Caleb
Which
Ellis.
is really recent, so.
Interesting.
Doesn't show how much of a fan I am.
I would have even known that. He probably plays on the team. You probably just heard that name the other night. He probably just played the last game that we watched. You said, damn, I know an Ellis. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Got a fun fact for me?
Yep. 1 to 12.
Um,
I don't know what Corey Maggette's number was, if that.
Monte Ellis is number 11.
Number 11. Cleopatra lived closer to the opening of the first Pizza Hut than the last pyramid's completion.
What was the name?
I have the dates. Cleopatra. Yeah. She lived from 69 to 30 BCE. Pizza Hut opened in 1958 AD, so that's roughly 2,000 years. and the last pyramid was completed 3,500 years ago. So 1,500 years going
Why do I
back.
feel like, is there another name that I'm associating with pyramids and stuff? What was the
I
one?
don't know.
I feel like we did one like this before that it was like the Abe Lincoln one. Like it was the somebody to
Abe Lincoln.
samurais to Abe Lincoln,
Abe Lincoln
but
was faxing samurais.
samurais. Yes, there was another one that maybe it was Cleopatra. I feel like there's just a name that it's like if you were looking up this, you might also. Damn, that's gonna drive me nuts. Once I see it, I'll remember it and I'll have to tell you about it. But yeah, because I, not that anybody could, but I was gonna say I can't pick Cleopatra out of a lineup, but like I couldn't tell you what Cleopatra did or who they were.
Um, so for reference, I typed in just famous ancient Egyptian women, and Cleopatra's the only name on that list I recognize.
Okay, maybe it was Cleo. Maybe we had. I think we did one before because I remember something with the pyramids that we had done. I don't remember what it was. We need to keep track of the fun facts. We gotta start having a history of them.
Yeah, sorry,
All
I
right, so
delete them after I use them. So
no, that makes perfect sense. I just no situations like this we're gonna have repeats. But yeah, no, it's something else. But yeah, I did not know that.
but yeah, just crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you assume Cleopatra, the pyramids there at the same
Yeah,
time, handled everything together, but then it's like, oh no, they were completely separate. Like it's
yeah,
just your brain again, like the dinosaur thing. Like you just clump all
right.
those eras together as a oh that all happened together,
Yeah.
but
How
no, they
long
were actually
was the
several hundred years apart.
Egyptian timeline? 4,300 BCE to around 3,000. So they're around like 1,300 plus years. I mean, obviously it goes into modern times,
Right.
but yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy when you put those things on a timeline.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
infinite stuff, and this is just
Yeah.
another one of those examples.
Yeah. The more you know, the more you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like every time.
Well,
Alrighty.
I appreciate you. We'll come back Thursday
Yes,
night
sir.
with Super Bowl predictions and
So
all that
excited.
fun stuff. Or
The,
I already know the answer to this question, but we can go into the how much we're betting and where our betting's going. I did
yeah.
see they're
Yeah.
expecting over $1.3 billion to be legally gambled on
Yeah.
the Super Bowl
It's
this year.
which
So
means like 4 billion legally.
yeah, which I would be interested to see how much is gambled uh, on the Super Bowl versus March Madness. That would be an interesting number. I know you'll never get the true answer because
Yeah.
arguably 80% of it's going to be illegal.
I would
Um,
say Super Bowl just because it's a bigger game. Like you get like
yeah, but
businesses and stuff, but like colleges also like in
well,
March
not only
Madness.
that,
Like
but you get like the office pool. Like, hey, fill out.
yeah, fill
People who
this
don't
out for
know
no
anything about
reason.
basketball, it's like, hey, throw $1 and
Yeah, fill
fill
out a
out this
bracket.
bracket
Yeah, you're
because like
probably more
anything
likely
can
to get
happen.
$1 in a bracket than you are $1 for a Super Bowl square too.
Yeah,
So yeah,
so
that's a good point. Interesting. Yeah, that
it'd
would
be
be that would
very
be a hell of a
interesting.
stat to see. Yeah, to be
Yeah,
able to see like the actual true breakdowns. Again, that was my thing earlier. Like you put me in a real room to see how politics break down or whatever. Like that's fine. Like I want to be in the real room of the people dealing with the finances, where they're like, all right, 1.3 billion illegally, 2 billion illegally, but like we'll get to that later. Like it's fine.
yeah,
Like I want to know that they know that it's there and they're just ignoring it.
yeah. Anyways, I
But
appreciate you all. We'll be back Thursday. Have a great Wednesday. Hopefully you're safe in the weather we're getting on Thursday, and have a great day. Like and subscribe,
GG's. Thanks,
rate.
Derek. Like and
Thank you, Derek.
subscribe.
Appreciate y'all.
Later.